Hey, this is Disciple Marcello Occurrence. This is part 3 on the misperceptions of the Antichrist, the misperceptions of the Antichrist. So we covered basically it can't be no black man, you know what I'm saying? It's already power that's white from the white tribe in place that would put him in the power, that in the position that he would be in. Scholars alike all believe that he comes from Europe, over here in Europe somewhere. You know, I think I've heard the Middle East before, but definitely it's more east than over here in the West. So that's what you gotta understand. You know, we gotta get the Santa Claus out of America. We gotta get the Easter Bunny out of America. We gotta get the leprechauns out of America. We gotta get the Tooth Fairy out of America. You look at how much folklore we have and how giant that folklore is in this country. We believe in all kind of stuff instead of what we should be believing in. We celebrate all type of things that we know is not real, but we celebrate it like it is. That's real though. I remember the first time every kid in America realized at the time when they came to the realization that Santa Claus was not real. That was a very disappointing place in time. You came to the place where you realized he was not real. And I wouldn't grow no children up believing in Santa Claus. No. Your parents got you them toys. Your parents, empowered by God, was able to supply them toys for you. Instead of Santa Claus knowing no white man is gonna come and give toys to kids in the hood, knowing that's not gonna happen. Freely, for nothing? Come on now. But see, this is how America made the white man lovable to your kids when he ain't really did nothing for your kids. You see how that goes? But then at the end of the year, he put Santa Claus in your house. All the kids go crazy over the fair-faced man, white man, and they look at Santa Claus as a great grand person, when they should be thinking about Jesus Christ. They think about the white man. On Christmas, when they should be thinking about the birth of Jesus Christ, they're thinking about how Santa Claus came down the chimney. So your kids are brought up for non-white people. I mean, your kids are brought up thinking the white man is coming in your house and giving your kids toys. Let's call it what it is. This is not a black man. This is not a Mexican man. This is a white man coming to your house. Your kids think from a young age a white man is giving him toys every year. So he looks forward to seeing this white man every year. Almost more than he looked more than seeing that white man more than he worried about his birthday. His or her birthday. I'm just keeping it real. This is influence. You can't be gullible. You can't say, it's not that deep, but that's what it is, though. It's not about the misinterpretation of something here. That is the reality of the fact. That's the factuality of the situation. It's a white person coming down a chimney giving toys to your kids. Your kids gonna perceive the white man as this good person giving him toys every year. When in fact, the systems of the white man in this country has deprived your kids from getting toys. At times it has. At times it has. This is what happened. I'm just keeping it 100. This is not a fake me. This is not. I'm just look. So people don't understand. I go all around the board. I kick the facts on every level. Okay. So for people to say, well, you seem like you're over here, you seem like you're over there, you seem like you're against the blacks, you seem like you're against the nah. You seem like you're against the whites, you seem like I kick the facts, man. And in this country, when you unfold the facts, when it deals with white and black, it's very complicated. It comes off like schizo because you're bouncing back and forth, you're touching on the problems here, you're touching on problems over there. But this is real. You know, that's a fact. These kids are conditioned to think, oh, a white man is gonna bring me toys. He's gonna bring me toys every year. That's what your kids are conditioned to believe. When, like I said, it's been times where non-white families was on welfare, couldn't even afford toys. But yet they still thinking, the kids still thinking the white man's gonna do something and make something happen. When you can't make nothing happen because the white man didn't help you out like he's supposed to. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We got all these fairy monsters and fairy tales and folklores and everything that you got to pull down all this and see. The problem is they put Jesus in that in the same category, and it might be an insinuation that Jesus is no better than the Santa Claus. Jesus is no better than Santa Claus. That might be what the insinuation is here in America. Then you got on the day that he was resurrected, the Easter Bunny. Just a total distraction when your kids need to know about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. They need to know about that. But yet you got them out Easter hunting, Easter egg hunting, and they ain't thinking nothing about that. You see all the distractions on Christmas. They should be thinking about the birth of Jesus. They're thinking about toys. They're thinking about getting something. But this is all because the white man in this country, the white tribe, commercialized all these holidays for finances, for money. You know? And this is the facts. There's so much commercialization that it has influenced the way we interact with each other. That's real. That's how bad it is. All the stuff we see on TV that's promoted, this is how we interact with our children. This is how we treat children. These false worlds that they present while they're commercializing their products, while they're putting their products on commercials. These false images of family is what make people weirdo when it comes to the family structure. It's not always fun and cake and games for kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how these commercials look. Like, you know, fun and games and stuff. And that's why they wind up killing their own parents. They wind up doing evil things to their parents because they got raised up getting everything they need, getting everything they want, because the parents was influenced by the commercialization, that all that the commercialization of youth products, and just presenting these youth products and that mentality that comes with the commercial. That's what made them raise their children the way they did. They did influence them. I'm not saying be nice. Don't be nice to children. I'm not saying don't be nice to your children. I'm not saying, but, but don't let the commercialized presentation of family interacting with the youth influence you to how you interact with the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because he's all about the dollar. That's all that's about. So the Antichrist is just already a defeated foe. I mean, this is something we gotta understand. While we mentioning all this, he's not gonna last a long time. He's not gonna be here for 50 years. Let me say that again. The Antichrist is not gonna be in Earth 50 years. Well, let me put it this way: if he presents himself to the world and all that goes and all that is spoken in the Word of God, if that goes down, if it's God's will, then it won't be 50 years. So and for all these people that think that there's gonna be this evil paradise where you're having fun and everything, like, it's gonna be destruction. It's gonna be a lot of destruction. There might be patches of pleasure, but there's gonna be a lot of destruction if the world even comes to that. Because I'm a believer that believes that God's will is gonna be done, and he can change his mind if he want to. He's God. And this is what people don't understand, because I get disgusted at how even these Satanists is using six. Back in the 90s, they might not do it now, but they used to. They used all these wannabes, Gothics. They putting 666 everywhere. Well, that comes from the Bible. That's not originated in the Church of Satan or the satanic, or among the satanic people, but yet they're using the number of something that comes from the Bible. Whether it represents someone of their people, it's still, to me, it's kind of a little silly because it comes from the Bible. It's not something they created, but all in all, man, I gotta tap on this too. Christian power will always triumph, and good power will always triumph over all evil. If you want to look at the strength, I'm not talking about the nature, because the human nature can go either two ways. It can go towards evil, which is naturally inclined to do because of the appetites of human nature, which are about self, according to feeding one's own desires, the human desires, not what God desired to do. Or you can go towards you can go towards the spiritual way, because you are a spirit. So you can either go to the spiritual way, which you can naturally tap into it because you are a spirit, or you can go the evil way and tap into your human nature, and you can naturally do it because you are human. So you are two parts, human and spirit. Okay? In the spirit world, the highest rank is God, God's kingdom, God's structure. That's the facts. So you can feed that, and you can go that way, and you will succeed. Now you can go to the human side and feed the evil, and you can get stuck there because it's an appetite, but it will never be greater than the spiritual side, because God is over there on the spiritual side. So the human side and all this that's going on, all the things that people think they can, you can only go but so far in the human realm, in the human dimensions, feeding the human part of you. And even if you're in the dark world, the spirituality is held back by the human part. So when they try to take off and go as super far, they can't go but so far because the human part is gonna pull them back. Did you get what I just said? That was the punchline. That was the punchline. I got you. So the human side, when you go in the flesh and you try to do all this witchcraft and all this voodoo and hoodoo and stuff, you think you're gonna fly and soar, but you can't go as far as we can in the spiritual world, because you're trying to go in the spiritual world, but you're held back by human greed and natures, in human features and human characteristics and appetites. So you're entering to basically our grounds. God grounds is the spiritual world. Understand? So you can't go but so far. That's why the Antichrist and the whole Antichrist mentality is all about spreading the power here on earth and in the world system, because it's only but so far they can go in the spiritual world. So what they have to do is manipulate the systems here to go to and manipulate that to go as far as to try to go further in what they can do. And that's why they're so dependent on the world systems, and they so dependent on the world environments, because they can't go but so far because of their human nature. So what they have to do is spread out there. They have to construct a path here through the world systems, through the monetary system and through those places, and that's how the dark side continued to try to progress, through the monetary system, through the governments of the world, because they can't go in the spiritual world like we can on our side. So their side is of the human nature, of natural things, the world system. See how in the world system feeds, the money system feeds the human nature. The systems of the world feeds human nature. So see what I'm saying? So that's how that side, the human nature side, progresses. Feeding your darkness, feeding your appetites, all through the monetary system, all through the governments, all through the cultures. This is how they progress as far as being on the human side. On the dark side, on the dark side, they have to use the human path even the tangibility, because they can only go but so far in the spiritual. They're held back by their human nature, by their human appetites. That's the rules of the spiritual world. They're going to be pulled back. No matter how powerful they think they are, something they're doing is human. And that's what's going to limit them. That's what's going to limit them from going further and where we can go. They can't go. So that's why we always know that there's no witch or warlock for a fact that can be on our level. That's why. That's the technicality of it. I don't care how much they do. I don't care how much you see. I don't care how much fake synchronicity, synthetic synchronicity, they try to line up with time and all that kind of stuff, trying to be, it's all trying to it's all perpetrating what the spiritual world is. See, because we naturally line up in synchronicity. They're faking it. They have to use military, they have to use police skills, they have to use all these skills to line up in spiritual in synchronicity like we do naturally as spiritual people, because our steps are led by the Lord. Our footsteps, our actions are led by the Holy Spirit. So what man has tried to do that's on the dark side is he's tried to use even the military skills, the police skills, and the telepathic and the psychic realms to try to line up with the same timing, being in the same time and place where we are. Now, that's a whole nother teaching in itself. But basically, we rule in the spiritual world. The spiritual world goes as far as you can imagine. It goes further than a space shuttle. It goes further than anything to your imagination. There's no brick walls in God. That's what I tell people. When you come to Christianity, you come to receive Jesus Christ in your life, there's no walls where you have to stop. And that's what preachers don't tell you, because a lot of them are intimidated by you becoming greater than them. So they control and manipulate the congregations from becoming more powerful than they are. That's what they do, and that's a sense of control. Instead of giving you the principles for you to be greater than them, they won't do that. You have to find it on your own. But once you realize the recipe and the formulas, you realize you can go as far as you want. Jesus Christ himself said, you would do greater works than me because I'm going to the Father. That's what Jesus said himself. So you could go as far as you want in Jesus Christ. That's up to you. That's what I'm saying. That's how we outrank the dark side. They are no competition. Even Satan is no competition, because he can only go but so far. He has to come back down and deal with man in order to manipulate things in the world. He can't just do it. And then the spiritual world also, concerning what he can do, is limits him, because he's not a creative being. So therefore he's limited because he cannot create. He's only existing as we are. As far as existence, as far as creator versus the created, he's the created like us. So he's in a world, in an environment, in dimensions that God created. So he can't go but so far, because he can't create far. You get me? He can't create far. He can't go. Whatever road God laid out, that's all he got. That's why he has to manipulate. That's why he has to deceive. God is infinite in power, wisdom, knowledge, and creative ability. So there's no, as far as you want to go, God can just lay out the path for you. Boom, boom. You want to go this far? You want to go this far? Okay. There you go. Here you go. Here's a whole highway now, because you decided to go this far. But what happens is jealousy, envy, confusion. The human side sees what you're becoming, and they hate you for it. And Satan has to manipulate them to hate you for it. He has to manipulate them because he can't really get to you. So what he has to do is manipulate humans to hate you. But it's really him hating you vicariously through them. You see what I'm saying? So realize the Antichrist, where he'll be coming from. Also, I recommend realizing that God is in control. He does not have, God can control the whole situation where the Antichrist doesn't even have to come. The mark of the beast, the New World Order, none of that has to come because God is God. Understand that. Because all these people are getting hung up on it. All these people are waiting for things. These people act like they're loving, licking their lips, wait like dogs waiting for it. God might just decide not to do it. So don't be in complete fear, trembling, and legs buckling and everything. God is in control. No matter what happened, this man is not gonna stay on the scene for a million years. And ultimately God wins over this character. God wins. And you should be on God's side. Because it's infinite in power. It's infinite. They're limited on that side. The Antichrist, all of them, they all limited. They are not creators. That's why they can't create a better world for you. That's why they can't create better situations for you. And God is constantly making a better world. God can do anything. He can change all situations. He can give miracles beyond that